Howdy, my name's Bremond. I'm a singer-songwriter, a saxophone player as well. Known for my saxophone playing more, I suppose. And I'm from Darwin. I was born here, grew up here. Best time of my life here, I suppose. My dad was a music teacher in Darwin. And of course, I played pretty well everything at the beginning of my dad's teachings. He taught everything. My sister as well, we played together. And it just went on from there, I suppose, loving music, made to appreciate everything, all sorts of music, really. No limits. That was the whole thing, music was everything. Didn't really want to do anything else. I came down here and swam a bit. But yeah, Darwin was a big musical family when I was young. I actually left Darwin when I was, I think, 17, 18. Yeah, ran out of money, ended up in Perth. That started a whole new chapter of my life, really. I was just a muso. I wasn't really qualified in anything else. I started doing auditions, couldn't get arrested. And eventually got a gig with a band called Perfect Strangers. We used to play next door to another band called Innocent Bystanders. And one day I left the Perfect Strangers for the Innocent Bystanders. And that became Johnnie Diesel and the Injectors, So that was a pivotal moment, I suppose you could call it. But the whole thing of playing original music too, that woke me up. I knew, for example, the Perfect Strangers was a big Perth cover band, very successful, made money, and the Innocent Bystanders were kind of like this broke little band that played great songs, And I just thought, that's it for me. I'd rather play original music and not be successful, but really enjoy what I'm doing, That was the big moment. And then even that band, we didn't play for money, play for drinks, I think. And it just went from there. Big music family. I can come back here and play 100 miles away, and there'll be people I know that'll turn up and even play with me and jam with me. Very open, Darwin's very open. Very transit city too. Even growing up here, a few fair weather friends that would come up for a few months and even play with me, good musicians and that, and then they're gone. Darwin's not on the map in any sort of, more so now musically, like, wow, Indigenous artists coming from NTs is unbelievable. Fantastic. All my life I've heard some, haunting singing and playing from local Indigenous artists here that I'll never forget. Now that to me is that's spiritual, very spiritual. I can remember the earth moving when I was young, going to corroborees, and finding playing music is spiritual. That's the way I play. It's very Darwin style. Just close my eyes and go somewhere, But if it feels good and someone else likes it, I feel that's a big plus. Like one of my songs, it doesn't matter. It never mattered to me, the whole stardom trip of I'm going to Sydney or Melbourne and I'm going to make it big, or try and make it big. Never had that sort of thing in mind. Not really. No. I don't know why, but it seemed to happen. Right spot, right time, I don't know. But I found that. But always the spirit of this place was always with me, because I knew, like I was saying, I could just go back home any time. You want to carry on? It was no different to me to walk away from any of that. It was no big deal. And finding, for example, after Johnnie Diesel, we split up there. I was playing with Peter Wells from Roast Tattoo, did 3 albums with him. And it was just like big learning curve. Absolute. Nothing really matters. Finding out he was from Tasmania, It's like, well, whoops, I'm from Darwin. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where you're from. Having an identity, I think, very important. And a lot of Darwin people have that, I think. They don't realise, a lot of young artists here that I know and watch, and wanting to go further, but it is Darwin. There's a certain line you get to here, and then you have to go, and then it's just so difficult. You've got to work a year ahead, and even then, we don't have a big management type scene here to get, when you get main gigs here, for example. I think it's the first time they had a couple of local bands play before a major act. When I was young, it was always a local act at the amphitheatre. Like I was 16, 17, I supported the Angels at the amphitheatre, Cold Chisel at the amphitheatre. I wasn't even 18 then. And the word was out as soon as the band came to Darwin, we want your local bands to play before us. And that seemed to disappear, I'm not sure. Growth in music in Darwin, yes, it needs to be done. It seems to be all to do with venues, and usually for Darwin artists to grow, they need somewhere to go, use their art more, where everyone supports each other, which is a little fractured at the moment, personally. Being a growing city and wanting a lot of tourists and that. Even we have festivals here that, to me, don't have much local content. It's like, maybe we should have a Darwin festival and get all the Darwin artists together and go and do it in Adelaide. You know what I mean? Because at the moment, you have a festival here and it's just influx of southern artists, which I love. I have nothing against it, but it's kind of like, well, the locals, there's a lot of locals here that we disappear when there's a festival on. You can't find us. Where I find, well, where's the Darwin identity, Like I always, if there's a gig on with Larry Key and Nation, Robbie Mills, I'm there. Just love playing with the man. And Terence Hill, fantastic Darwin musos here, absolute. They're all singer-songwriters too, and they're all multi-talented. And I'd like to see all that grow. Someone to have that avenue for a Darwin musician to go to the major city and play, because I guarantee you'd be liked.